I'm Sarah Baxley, and welcome to Pinkie the Bear. This is my mystics, metaphysics, and mindfulness channel, and I'm here today with your astrology forecast for the week of August 19th, 2018. So the upcoming themes for this week are 1, lifting the fog, and 2, switching gears. All right, so let's hop into our first theme of this week, which is lifting the fog, right? So basically, the last couple months have been quite the doozy for some, right? We've had not only 3 eclipses back to back, but we've also had 2 personal planet retrogrades, both with Mercury and with Mars. So, the thing is that the last few months have really been, there's been kind of certain changes that have gone on for us, and it's also kind of just been this major time of review in our lives, right? And I've mentioned this before, but in order for us to move forward and to be, the best people that we can be, often that takes, it's important for us to take that time to kind of review our life, review where we've been, like the things that we've done or we've experienced, right? Or how we can do things better. So that way we can go ahead and move forward and, kind of just like plug along, like being our best selves and living our best lives. So the last couple months have just definitely been this, just really intense time of review. And the reason is because, not only aside from those eclipses, but again, because of Mercury and Mars retrograde. So, back to our theme this week of lifting the fog, we have finally some of these things are starting to kind of open up because, this past Saturday night, right, that we just had on August 18th, we had Mercury stationed direct, right? And so basically kind of the fog is starting to kind of lift, from our thought process, and, things are kind of starting to become a little bit more clear now, thankfully, right? And Mercury retrograde happens about 4 times a year. So this is definitely this kind of like review period and all of that stuff. It's nothing new. However, Mars retrograde only happens, once every 2 years, right? The last time we had it happen was in, I think, like May or June of 2016. And it lasts for about 2 months. And that kind of really is a time of like reworking, certain things in our lives that aren't working anymore, right? Instead of plunging full speed ahead, it's kind of a matter of like taking a couple steps back so that way we can really assess everything with a larger perspective, so that way then we can move forward in a more efficient manner, essentially, right? So this is something that we are also experiencing. So we have both coinciding at the same time, and basically personal planet retrogrades, like, right, which are the planets that are close to the sun, Mercury, Mars, Venus, those are the ones that we tend to feel the most, right, or experience the most in our day-to-day lives. And we will have another one, Venus retrograde, happen starting in October, so that will be another one to kind of like reevaluate. That only happens once every 1.5 years. But for right now, we have Mercury station direct on this past Saturday, August 18th. And then we have Mars stations direct, not this week, but Monday, right? So which is Monday the 27th, right? So of August. So this is kind of like really lifting the veil. There's going to be kind of like a lot of aha moments that are going on. And so we're really just back to this theme. We're really kind of like lifting the fog, right? Things are going to start to become a little bit more clear. The actions that we want to take are going to start to become a little bit more clear to us, right? And we're going to be ready to kind of move forward with, with open eyes and with a little bit more wisdom than we had a couple months before, when things were kind of a little bit more up in the air. So then that brings us into our second theme of the week, which is switching gears. And, the thing is that, there's kind of like a 2-part to that, right? One is because we have both of these planets stationing direct. And so, there's kind of going to be a little bit more of just clarity overall, but also we're switching gears because we're going from Leo season with the sun in Leo to then Virgo season with the sun in Virgo. And that happens, oh my gosh, I should have this date. So then the sun goes into Virgo on August 22nd, this Wednesday, right? And, you know, the energy of Virgo versus Leo, you know, Virgo is very much about putting in hard work, right? It's very much about dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's and having everything in full, efficient working condition, right? And so it kind of, I kind of feel like it kind of marriages in, right? Also with this, you know, veil essentially, or fog being lifted from us, both with Mercury and Mars stationing direct, that we have kind of this switching gears moment that's happening with the sun in Virgo that's like, okay, let's get down to business, right? Virgo is an earth sign, right? It's very much about our physical world, our immediate environment, what we do in our day-to-day lives, and how we can make that as efficient as possible, right? In order to achieve tangible results. So, you know, there's definitely this kind of switching gears moment that's happening for us. And so, you know, the thing is that we are kind of moving in, you know, we also have this like culmination. We have the full moon that's happening this upcoming Sunday, the 26th, which is literally just a day before Mars stations direct. So it's kind of almost like we're going to start switching gears this week. The fog has been lifted. You know, we're getting ready to kind of like work hard, kind of be more efficient at the things that we're wanting to move forward with. And then there's going to be kind of this culmination point, this kind of like awareness or illumination that happens this upcoming Sunday on August 26th when we have the full moon. We're going to sort of have this kind of, you know, illumination, right? And then we have Mars stationing direct, you know, literally the day after, which is really funny because I think Mars stationed retrograde, I think the day before full moon, and now it's stationing direct the day after. And so it's just kind of like, okay, let's start to make progress, let's start to move forward, right? And I do want for us to be a little bit of aware, because we have right around the same time of the full moon and of Mars direct, we have Venus square Pluto, as well as Mercury square Jupiter. So, you know, I just want a couple days, I want for kind of the energy that's happening at this full moon, kind of just let things die down a little bit before you're making any kind of like big, you know, decisions or whatever. Maybe you might have this like clarity and it might be like, this big aha moment, but you know, it's a matter of kind of don't let things, don't kind of like become too obsessive about something too quickly, or like the need to make an immediate change. Kind of just let the energy simmer down. I mean, again, this is going to be taking us into next week, because all of this culmination of everything all at once is going to be at the full moon this upcoming Sunday, August 26th, and then, you know, the day after, which is going to take us into our astrology forecast for next week. But just a lot of the culmination is happening at the end of this week. And so just kind of let that stuff simmer, right? Don't make any quick things. Don't, you know, be kind of aware of like obsessive types of behavior, like, oh, okay, this is what I'm going to do, let me hurry and plunge forward. Just let things kind of simmer down a little bit, because with that Mercury square Mars, we kind of might have this like larger than life like mentality and thought process that we just need to kind of let it cool down. That's a lot of energy all at one time. But, you know, on the upside of that, there's like this veil that has been lifted finally, right? So that we can kind of plunge and move forward. So definitely an exciting time this week. You know, finally we're getting ready to move out of this transitional time that we've had over the last couple months and begin to make progress again, which is very exciting. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome week, and I will see you around. Okay, thanks again. Cheers.